everybody, welcome to Crafty Anew. Today is the fourth installment of my 4th of July series, and I'm bringing you 3 4th of July projects in this video. So for project number 1, we're making an American Eagle, in which you'll need some poster board, some carbon paper, and then I'll have the link to this printable I'm using in the description box below. And we're just going to trace on the eagle. We're going to trace the eagle onto the poster board using the carbon paper. If you haven't realized by now, I don't have a Cricut. That's going to be my next purchase, or if somebody wants to gift it to me and my family, you know, we can drop some hints there. My lovely daughter, who's also a subscriber, hint hint, birthday's coming up. Anyway, we're going to trace that onto, and I've measured it out. It's 10 by 20 is all you'll need of the poster board. And then once you got that traced, you're going to cut it out. I'm using an X-Acto knife. Be careful doing this because it doesn't take much to be able to cut this out. And I did cut my finger pretty bad. I just didn't get it on video. Actually, I'm going to edit it out because you guys didn't subscribe to see blood, I'm sure. And then I'm making 2 cutouts because I want this to be a sturdy piece. So I'm tracing around the original so I can make sure that it's the exact size I need and that they line up when you glue them together. And then once you have them both cut out, you're going to glue them together so that you just have one sturdy piece. This project's pretty easy to make, and you don't need very many supplies for this. You just need your poster board, your anything to cut it out with, carbon paper, or if you have a Cricut, that'll work. The Eagle template, which I'll leave in the description box below, glue gun, and some scrapbooking paper that I got from Hobby Lobby. Then once I got that all glued down, I'm just going around and getting any extra pieces I see that's hanging off after I cut it out, just to give it a more smoother look. And then I'm kind of going by the template too that I printed out, and I want the stars to be on top. So I'm just making a line where I want to start the star scrapbook paper, and then right below that line is where I'm going to put my red, white, and blue scrapbook paper. And I'm just going to trace around it so that I know, you know, so that you have a template to cut it out. I'm sure everybody knows how to trace. I hope everybody's staying healthy and having a good summer so far. I know we are. We're not doing much, but it just seems like it's been a nice summer. It's been nice just kind of relaxing at home for a change. We're not traveling and running everywhere. And then once you get that cut out, you're just going to glue that onto your poster board. And I'm sorry, you're going to Mod Podge that onto your poster board. So you'll want to give the back of that a good dose of Mod Podge, or as my daughter likes to call it, Mod Posh. And then I'm just going to take my brayer and roll over it to get out any wrinkles and to make sure it has a good seal to it. Make sure it's nice and, you know, it's not going to peel off on me. And then now I'm going to trace out my star scrapbook paper for the top, for the head and the top of the wings. And then you're going to use some more Mod Podge and get that nice and wet. and soaked and covered and all that good stuff. And you're going to roll it onto the top half of the eagle. And as you can see, I originally had traced out the eagle's head, but messed up and tore the paper. So what you see there is I actually just cut out some, and I thought it would be a good idea for me just to go back after I Mod Podged it on there and cut it out. So that's why it looked different in that picture. And now I'm taking one of these furniture markers that you can get in the Dollar Tree. They come in a 3-pack, and I don't remember what color this. Oh, walnut. I'm using the walnut, and I'm going to color um, 2 of the tumbling tower blocks in this color. And you'll notice that later on I realized I actually needed 4 of these because 2 didn't work. So you'll actually need 4 tower tumbling blocks, and you'll need to color those in the walnut stain. And it's just the furniture. They're just furniture repair. Get them at the Dollar Tree in a 3-pack. And it covers these tower tumbling blocks. Like it gives it such a pretty color. And then here I am. I'm just cutting around the paper to cut off the excess paper. And then I'm taking a piece of sandpaper and I'm just going to sand that down so that the poster board doesn't look so much like poster board. I want it to look more like a wood look. And I'm just kind of sanding down all the extra scrapbook paper so that it looks like it's one piece. And then I'm going to go over the top because I want that to look a little more worn, almost like the picture of or almost like the template that I printed out. So, and then I want the lines from the cardboard, or sorry, the poster board to come through the paper. So I'm sanding it down, giving it that old weathered look. And then I'm just taking my furniture pen again, and I'm going around the edges so that you can't tell that it's, why do I keep forgetting poster, or not poster board? Yes, I'm going around it with my pen so that you can't really tell it's poster board. I want it to look like walnut wood. There, I finally got all it out. Sorry you guys had to struggle through that with me. And then I'm just kind of outlining it with the walnut furniture pen. And then I'm going to go over it again with sandpaper because I didn't want that pen showing up so stark. I want it to be more dulled down. So I'm just going to go over the edges lightly with the sandpaper. And I got the sandpaper from Dollar Tree also. And then you got the eagle done. There you go. Isn't that so pretty? I love the way it turned out. Of course, I love the way everything I do turns out, or I wouldn't be doing it. And then I'm just going to glue the tower tumbling pieces for a stand onto both sides of the eagle. And I realized that the eagle was too top heavy for just 2 blocks. So that's why I went and got 2 more blocks so that I could put those together. The stand's a little wider. So you'll need 2 blocks for the front and 2 blocks for the back, and it works out perfect for it. See, just the 1 block in front, 1 block in back, it won't stand up for me. So I went and got 2 more, and you're just going to paint it in the same walnut stain. These furniture pins make doing these blocks so easy. And you get 3 different color pins for $1. And it goes a very long way. And there's our American Eagle all finished in all its glory. And I put it on my tablescape. That was my first video. I can't remember if it was my first episode or second episode, but I'll link it in a card up above here. So for project number 2, we're doing Home of the Brave garden flag. And I got these burlap garden flags from Amazon. You got a 3-pack, I think it was like for $9.99. And I'll put the link in the description box below for these. It was a great bargain. I get 2 more flags to do for Thanksgiving and Christmas, so I'm excited to bring you those DIYs. And then I used 2 printables, Home of the Brave, and then I printed out some stars because like I said, I have to trace everything onto this using my carbon paper, and I'll link those in the description box below also. So you'll need the 2 printouts, your carbon paper, a burlap garden flag if you can get them off Amazon. If not, any kind of burlap material will work for this. You can make your own garden flag. My patriotic ribbon that I got from Hobby Lobby, and then you'll need 4 different color of I'm using paint pens, which if you're good with the paintbrush, I mean, you could just use paint and paintbrush, but I'm not very good at it, so I have to use the paint pens. And I'm using red, blue, green, black, and white. Which you don't see the green here, but I decided to add the green later on. And I purchased these pins off Amazon also, so I can leave that link below for you. And I'm just going to measure to find my center point so that I know where to start the sign. And I'm not counting the folded top part of it as part of my center. I'm counting from where the folded part meets the burlap to the bottom. If that makes any sense. You can kind of see how I measure it in the video. And then I'm just going to take my Home of the Brave printable and I'm going to center it onto my burlap. And then I'm just checking to make sure I have the sides and everything the same size so I can make sure I've got it right in the middle. I know I'm usually not the one for perfection, but this is a garden flag and it's going to be outside and everybody's going to see it, so I wanted to get it just perfect for this. And I'm just going to put my carbon paper on there and I'm just going to trace it onto the flag. Now I will tell you that for some reason when I was tracing this on with the carbon paper, if you're going to use the carbon paper, you're going to have to press hard and you're probably going to have to basically color the letters, because when I actually just used my pen and went around it once, it didn't transfer onto the burlap very well, so I actually had to color the letters onto it to make it show up on the burlap better. Because this is a tough burlap. I mean, it's for outdoors, so they made it, they put a wax on the back or whatever that's called to make, so it won't wear and fray. And the acrylic paint I'm using is also good for outdoors. It's supposed to be able to take weather, sun, rain. It's supposed to be weatherproof, so the paint's not going to fade being outside. And once I get that traced on, I'm going to trace on my stars where I want them. I ended up using 8 stars. I used 3 for the bottom, 3 for the top, and then 1 on each side. And I did like 2 big stars and then 6 little stars. No, take that back. I used 4 big stars and then 4 little stars. Because I put a big star on each side, a big star in the middle on top and bottom, and then 2 little stars on top and 2 little stars on bottom. Which you can make your own pattern. I mean, this is just what I liked. I mean, it's my preference. Be sure to subscribe if you like this video. Hit that notification bell so you'll be notified of all of my future uploads and more fun and exciting content like this. And give me a thumbs up and leave a comment down below on what was your favorite project, because I would really appreciate it, because you guys are just that awesome to do it. I really do appreciate all my new subscribers and everybody that's helping me get started. I am a new channel. I started back in March, and I got a little discouraged in March because, you know, starting out, it's kind of discouraging. But here, the past few weeks, you guys have really stepped up and shown me some love, and I really do appreciate it. And I hope to um, continue to keep you on as subscribers. I hope you guys enjoy my content and, you know, stick around, because I really do appreciate it, and I'm very grateful for all of you. And I just wanted to say thank you. So once you get your stars traced onto the burlap, you're just going to color them in with the acrylic paint markers. I'm using blue. So I'm going to do the top row, blue, red, blue. And I'm just working my way from the top to the bottom so that I don't get paint all over my arm or all over the burlap. So yeah, I'm going to outline this one in red, and then the other star is going to be blue. And it's really hard to paint on burlap, I'm realizing. The blue does excellent, but the red and the white I had issues with. I actually had to go over the red twice. And the white, you'll see that big hassle coming up. Oh my gosh. White on burlap does not work very well, especially if you're just using paint pens. And then I'm going to color in the word home in blue. And then I'm using my black paint marker to color in of the. And then I'm using my red paint marker to color in brave. And then I'm going to use my white paint pen, and here we go. This was a fiasco. I will never use white acrylic paint on burlap again. I'm trying my best to outline this star in white. It's not working. So then I get out my Waverly chalk paint white, try using a paintbrush to paint it in, which, as I've already told everybody, I can't do this with a paintbrush. I cannot color anything in with a paintbrush, but I managed to get it there. My star is a little more rounded than I want it, so there I go. I'm trying to use the sponge. I don't know why I thought that would work to make the star more pointed, but no, it made it more rounded. So I didn't want to torture you guys doing the other star like that, but I did end up using the paintbrush and the sponge for the other star, and we can see how messed up that is. So anyways, then I worked my way and I did the leaves with the green paint marker, the little vines, and then I used the red, blue, and then red again. But the white had me so, I accidentally deleted the footage from doing the green leaves, but you can see I painted them green because I was so distracted by the white. Anyway, moving on. So there we are, we got it all painted in, and so now I'm taking my patriotic ribbon, and I'm cutting me off, I think it was 5-inch pieces, 2 5-inch pieces. And these are going to be the handles for the garden flag pole. This is what we're going to hang it with. These garden flags do come with, I mean, they are looped, so you could just leave it like it is and put it on any garden flag pole. But I wanted a little more, I wanted to be more a little patriotic with these, so I used my ribbon and made my own loops for my garden flag pole. And all I did was just loop it around with and use some hot glue on there. Just make loops out of ribbon. And then once you get your loops made, you're just going to flip over the banner and you're going to glue them to the banner. And I lined them up with, I used the outside seams to line them up. So I used the outside of my loop and I lined it up with the outside seams of the banner. And I just hot glued those on there. And I did this project about 5 days ago and my banner still looks, I mean, it's gorgeous. I love it. It's so cute. Of course I made it, so of course I love it. But I own up to all of my mistakes. Like I said, the white paint, I still can't quit talking. I'll quit talking about it. It was just a fiasco. But I learned my lesson. And now I'm just taking some ribbon because I thought it just needed some more, I don't know, it just needed something. So I decided to line the top of it with ribbon, but I didn't want to cover up my star, so I'm cutting off just the stripes there on one edge of the ribbon. And it's not going to go to waste because I'm going to use it on the bottom of the, I'm going to use just the stripes on the bottom of the flag. So once you get that cut off, you're just going to glue them to the top of the flag there with the seam. I'm telling you what, I'm so glad I discovered these garden flags because I'm a big garden flag junkie. And I seen these on Amazon. I was like, what? I had to get those. And I'll probably end up getting me another pack because I got one for Thanksgiving, one for Christmas, so I'll need one for winter, one for Valentine's, one for St. Patrick's. So I'll probably have to get me 2 or 3 more packs of these. And then there I'm just taking the edge of the ribbon that I cut off and I'm just putting it on the bottom of my garden flag. Ta-da! There's our Home of the Brave garden flag. And there it is on outside on my little garden flag pole. And right there's my beautiful petunias. Oh my gosh, this year my petunias just look gorgeous. I'll have to take some video of that. So for project 3, we're just doing a 4th of July door hanger. Just a little decor piece for my back door. And I'm using some foam core board. And I'm using a number 4 printable, which you just go to Google and you search for number 4 printable, and you can get any kind of script, you can get any kind of font you want. This is like a script font. And I'm just using my carbon paper, and I'm just going to trace the number 4 onto the foam core board. And then once I have that traced, I'm taking my X-Acto knife and I'm going to cut that number 4 out. And then I'm taking my folk art paint in nautical blue, it's chalk paint, and I'm going to paint my 4. And I'm going to paint the front and back. I mean, you're not really going to see the back, but I like my stuff finished, so I painted the back also. And then I also have 4 wooden letters, J-U-L-Y, to spell out July. And I'm only going to paint the U and the Y in my red chalk paint. And it's also from Waverly. So far for this project, you will need foam core board, you'll need a printable, a number 4 printable, you'll need some paint, and then these are wooden letters I purchased from the Dollar Tree, some carbon paper if you're going to use a template, and then you're just going to hot glue those letters onto your number 4. And I actually left the letter J and the letter L in just the plain wood that it came in because I just thought it looked so cute. And I'm going to glue those down the long side of the number 4. And you're also going to need 2 things of ribbon for this project, and I'm using a piece of cloth that I purchased from the Dollar Tree. So here I'm going to make me a simple bow using 2 different kinds of ribbon, and I'm going to make one longer and one smaller size. So like I said, one day I'll post a link, or one day I'll post a video to showing how I make my ribbons. And then I'm just making I'm cutting it here and making my slit because I find it easier to put chenille stems or any kind of string. If you make a slit into your ribbon, it's easier to form your ribbon because you have that slit to work with. And then with this one, I'm just using some jute twine and tightening the ribbon up so that I'd be able to work with it once I'm done. And then here's another thing of ribbon I purchased. It's just burlap ribbon that I got from the Dollar Tree. And I'm going to make this bow a little smaller. Just like an inch or 2 smaller than the first one. And with this one, I'm leaving enough for a tail. And then I cut slits in that, and I'm just going to tie it to that first bow that we made. And here I am. I'm using the slits and just kind of arranging it however. You just got to keep fluffing and arranging it until you're happy with it. That's pretty much all I can tell you about making a bow. I mean, I learned by watching 10 or 15 different YouTube videos and learned 10 or 15 different ways of making a bow until I found the way that's easier for me. And it's basically just a combination of all the different ways I watch. So it's really hard for me to kind of do as I'm doing a different, if it's not fully focused on the bow, it's really hard for me to explain. So like I said, one day I will post a video to show how I make them. And there it is, all done. And then I'm going to cut out some of this fabric. And I'm just using the ruler because I want to go about an inch or 2 from the edge of the fabric. And I'm going to follow one of those checkered lines all the way to the very end because I want these to be the full length of the fabric. So yeah, go about an inch or 2 from the edge, and then you can get a straight cut following one of those lines all the way up the fabric. And you should end up with 2 pieces because I didn't unfold the fabric, I left it folded. I thought this was such cute fabric. My Dollar Tree had this in with their yarn. So there's your 2 pieces of fabric. They should be the same width and the same length. And then I'm just going to glue those to my 4. So I'm going to glue one on the short side of the 4. And then I'm going to glue the other one to the long side of the 4. So once you have that done, then I'm going to cross the two pieces of fabric at the top of the four, and I'm going to glue them onto my bow. So you can see here I'm gluing the two pieces of fabric together, and I just kind of cross them at the very top. And then I'm going to take that piece and I'm going to glue it to the back of my bow. And then I'm just making a little jute twine hanger so that I can hang it on my door. And I just used the command strip hook and put on my door and then just hung it from the command strip hook. This isn't heavy at all. I mean, it's just cloth and a foam core board number. So, I mean, it's not going to take much to hang it. And then I'm just making my dovetails. I just want to thank everybody for watching. Hope you enjoyed all three projects. Stay tuned for my last installment coming out on Tuesday for my 4th of July series. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and hit that thumbs up. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.